Hi everybody! Don't forget to wait until the end of the video to see the test results of this production chain. That's right, I check out the time it takes and the outputs to see what's best for you to maximise your profits. See you at the end of the video. Hello everybody and welcome to Production Chain Chat with me, Mrs. Sim Gamer. If you know me at all, you know I love the business side of Farming Simulator, so I've decided to start up this series just talking about production chains, the sell points, looking at the models themselves, trying to compare them to others, and really just getting into the nitty-gritty and trying to find out what can enhance your game. So, jumping straight in, today we are looking at a production chain. It's just called Flower Production. So the description of this wonderful building, I'm very impressed with the look of it, is the mill transforms grain into flour. The mill produces waste feed for pigs. Now this is by AgriKevolution. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. It is available on all platforms: PC, Mac, PlayStation and Xbox. It was released on the 7th of February, and the good news is it's not too big. It's not a massive file. It's 16.14 megabytes. And so far the user rating on Kingsmod is good. It's good. It's got 4.4 out of 5 stars already. So, a couple of things which stand out for me on this particular production chain. Number one is the value of it. It only costs 31,000 to place this down. I'm just going to show it to you. So we go to construction. It is in production chains, factories, and we go all the way to the end to our downloaded mods, and here it is. It is 31,000. To me, that's impressive. A lot of the grain mills are quite expensive, so this is a really nice model. There are other ones which are much smaller in size, not as impressive as this building. So big tick for me on that part. So only downside is it is purely a flour production. So you do get grain mills which also then further go on to do more bakery related products. But to be honest, I'm all for specialties. It's great. The other thing which stands out to me is that you can put in sorghum. You don't always get sorghum. It's normally oats, wheat and barley. Sometimes you get corn for corn flour, so that's quite good. And another standout for me is the pig feed. Now, if you are a fan of Omatana and her production chains, which I really am, one of her production chains also pushes out flour and pushes out pig feed. So interesting. This is also followed that route. Pretty impressed so far. Okay, so now let's have a look around it. We now know what it does. We know what the inputs and outputs are. We know the price. We know the size. Let's just have a look, shall we? We're going to go into flight mode and just have a little bit of a look around. The other thing is it's not too noisy. I like that. Sometimes you go next to production chains and they are quite on the noisy side. I really like this graphic here. It's really cute. It's nice attention to detail. And also it's on the side, on the silos. Just bring a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more detail. You can see the rust on the frames of the silos, which again I really like. Yeah, the doors, I love the doors. They really look aged. Really look aged. Now, you can't go inside, but that's fine. I feel this has got quite a European vibe to it. Even the windows, you see that if you get up close, they're sort of old and battered. I love this ivy that's growing up the edge. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous detail. So if we look at it from the top, you can see it does take up a fair amount of space. Again, I don't think that is a problem. I don't think that's a problem. I sometimes find these buildings are big in real life. It's sometimes with the size being small, it feels a little bit more unrealistic. I feel that the size of this is very realistic. So, yeah, I like that. So, a big thumbs up from me for looks. I would definitely give that building a 9 out of 10. I really would. A 9 out of 10. It may even be 10 out of 10. It is just so beautiful. Just nothing's been missed. The size, the detailing. Yeah. Really, really good. It would be nice to be able to turn some lights on or something, but again, it's not what this is about. Okay, let's go into the next part of this, which is managing the production point. So, we already know wheat, barley, oat and sorghum go into this production chain. What we haven't discovered yet is how much it costs and how many cycles a month and what that recipe looks like. Now, this is another big thumbs up for me. We've got production cost is only £24 euros a month, which is fantastic. And that is the same for all of the options, sorghum, oat, barley and wheat. Now, it looks as though this is where it's going to get interesting. So, wheat is 7,200 cycles a month. That's a really good cycle. 5 wheat to 4 flour and 1 pig feed. Pretty good. Now, oh, sorry, I keep pressing the wrong button today. Barley, the cycles goes down, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing because it produces a little bit more. So we're going to put 30, so it takes 30 to make 23 flour, and it outputs 3 pig feed, not 3 pigs. That would be interesting. Oat flour. So this ratio is very good. Very good. Now look at this. 15 litres of oats in, 19 of flour out, so you get out more than you put in, and then 3 litres of pig feed. Again, sorghum is weighted nicely. Not as good as oat, but 15 of sorghum, 16 flour, and then you've got 3 pig feed out. So this is what I'm interested in. Of course, when you're looking at what grain to put down to produce the most amount of flour in the fastest amount of time, this is where anybody sits down and says, right, how can we make this work? What's the best to put in? What's the best to get out? How can we maximize our profits? Okay, so I have got here an equal amount of each beautiful grain. So we've got wheat, barley, oat and sorghum, and we're going to try it out. We're going to see how long it takes to get through the entire amount and how much we get out, because that is what we want to know, right? That is what we want to know. So, got one of my favourite tractors. Unlimited money, baby. We're going to start with wheat, because wheat is the one I'm probably the most intrigued about because of the increased cycles. $2,100 litres in each, okay? Now the only thing I would say, and I've only just really noticed this, the tipping point is very small. That is very small. Okay, that might actually deduct it a little point or two. That's a bit small. Okay. So that is wheat in. And I'm going to put all of these in, but we're going to only turn one on at a time. Okay? So, I'll bring you back in once I've done it. See you in a bit. Okay, so we got 12,100 litres of each. This brings us to the next point, which is, I feel, really, really important, is its capacity. So the building's capacity to hold materials before the outgoing products. This looks quite large. Unfortunately, we have to guess. But if I was to have a guess, this looks about 200,000 litres worth of space per section. I will test it at the end, because that's the only way we can really truly know. So we'll test that at the end. But first of things first, let's turn on wheat. So wheat is now in motion. It is 9:59 in the morning, and we are going to see how long it takes to do this. Okay, 9:54, wasn't it? All right, and now we're going to speed up time so that we're not sitting here all day. Could you imagine it? I'm going to stand by. You can see how much flour and pig feed is being produced. It's running down pretty fast. Okay, so we're already up to 8,000 litres. Okay. Still going. Okay, I'm going to slow down time ever so slightly so I can actually catch it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start moving these out of the way. Alright. Let's put on trusty lumberjack. Ooh. That not let me pick it up. Interesting. I'm going to check that out in a minute. I don't want to miss the stop time. Okay, 900 litres to go. So that took just shy, so 9 in the morning till 5:55, so 10 till 5 basically. So that took 7 hours. That took 7 hours. Now, what's interesting is I can't seem to pick this up from... looks like I'm going to have to use... that. I'm going to have to use a chain. I'm going to have to use a forklift. That is interesting. I wonder why it's done that. Let's just use a forklift very quickly. Let's buy this one. Okay, let's see if I can pick it up from here. Is it because I've got flight mode on that sometimes has an effect? Yep, so I can pick that up now. Can I pick it up now? Yes, I can. Okay, it was flight mode that was causing the problem, not the mod. Okay. Let's see how much pops out. Now, there's no definition between the different types of flowers. Flower's flower. Okay? Flower is flower. That's a lot of flour. Anything else going to pop out? Nothing else is going to pop out. Okay. Now, the next important thing for me to do is to empty this. So you can see we've still got 680 litres of flour left. So, whoopsie. Another nice thing about this mod, which is not available in most mods, is you can take... Well, I think you can take the pig feed out. I'm about to find out about the flour, though. We're about to find out about that. So you can see the different icons here. We have a tip point coming out of the front of the production chain. You see that, everybody? Okay, so that's for the pig food. And there's no way of tricking it really to stop with the 640 litres. So we are going to need to deduct 640 litres from the next one, if that makes sense. So these are 1,000 each. And they would need to be picked up by a by a forklift or anything like that, because they're 230 kilograms each. Okay. So, we know the answer to wheat. So wheat produced 1, 2, 3. Let's do it this way actually. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 680. 9,680. litres of flour. And it was it 2,000? What was it? I think it was 2,400 litres of pig feed. So that was 2,420 litres of pig feed. So now you've seen me do this once, I am going to go away and do this again by myself for the other 3 times. And I will bring you back in once I'm done. See you soon. The test results are in, guys! But first, before we dive into the nitty-gritty, I just want to show you what's in front of me. As promised, I wanted to test out the storage capacity of this production chain, and you'll notice a big difference. So earlier in the video, you would have seen me put in 2,100 litres, and it looked like a very small percentage of what was going to be a very large capacity. We, unfortunately, were wrong. So that was showing as a bug, and you can see here the capacity is only 15,000 litres, which I'm a tiny bit gutted about. This, because of the cycles per month and how fast this production chain moves, it needs bigger storage capacity. So if you are on PC, you should be able to edit that in the XML, but if you are watching AgriKevolution, give us a little bit more storage capacity, please. So, here are the test results. We've already talked about the input, the cycles, and the production cost per month, and the recipe. Down to the interesting bit. So wheat took 10 in-game hours to process. It came in 3rd place as far as output is concerned. 9,680 litres of flour, 2,420 litres of pig feed being a byproduct. Barley came in last place, but it came in 1st place for speed. Only 4.5 hours in game it took to process all of the 12,100 litres of barley. But it only produced 9,277 litres of flour, and it came in lowest as well on the pig feed at 1,212 litres. So if you have a field which is yielding really well, you might want to go for barley and get the really fast speed and processing. But just be aware, guys, that if you've only got 15,000 litre capacity, you're going to have to keep going back every about 6 hours to fill that production chain up. So just bear that in mind, okay? Oats came in 1st place. It took 8 hours in-game to process the total 12,100, and we had an output of 15,327 litres and 2,417 litres of pig feed. Sorghum came in 2nd place, again 8 hours, with 12,716 litres of flour and 2,420 litres of pig feed. Now, if you're looking at this from an objective point of view, you're going to go for oats. But what this doesn't factor in, guys, is the size of your field, the yields, the soil type, or anything like that. All I can give you is what you put in, this is what you get out. It's down to you to produce as much as possible on your fields to get the maximum profits. But here you go. Here's the results. I hope you found this useful. If you have, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Make sure to comment if this has been useful or if you're going to start using this production chain. And most of all, thank you so much to AgriKevolution for the wonderful mod. See you in the next production chain chat.